Hi, hello, and welcome, stream. Holy shit. It has been quite some time, 3 weeks to be exact, since I was last here, and I promise this time I actually have a good excuse. Well, the last couple of times have been pretty good excuses, you know. Went to Japan, came back, went to the holidays. JD, how you doing, my friend? I am doing fantastic. Hope you are doing well, buddy. It has been a long time. It's good to be back, I will say. Should be a pretty fun stream because as you see in the title, and I think we're going to probably not do a lot besides just sitting here and talking. But as you see in the title, it has been well over a few weeks now since the very first time I ever clicked start stream. And that is fucking insane to me. It has been so I first streamed December, I believe 29th or 27th. It's one of the two. You get the gist. And we are now in January and a few days into the new year. So it has been an absolute joy to experience this all with you in the past year. JD, I know you're newer to the channel. Welcome, my friend. Hopefully you stay around for another year. Hopefully we continue to do this for another year. That would be the dream. And yeah, fun times forward. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, a lot of introspection, a lot of thoughts, just chatting with you guys, whoever decides to come into the stream. Probably not going to get a lot of viewers because this is not typically what I do. This is a just chatting stream. We're not going to be doing any Star Rail, any Zenless, anything special of that sort. So anyone who's going to come into the stream is probably someone who has watched me before and cares enough about me as a person rather than me as a person playing video games. And I imagine that number is actually a lot smaller than the number who cares about just me. So appreciate it, JD, for you hopping in here. Feel free to go at any point in time if you get bored, because a lot of this is just going to be me talking about the channel, myself, what the channel is going to be like going forward, and any thoughts and feelings that I have over the past year. So anyone who's watching on YouTube who is watching the VOD over, that's what this is going to be. I imagine it's going to be very boring for some of you. I do not mind at all if you click off of the video. Please go ahead. I know you guys mostly watch me for one thing and one thing only, and that's gotcha content from Hoyoverse. So, but yeah, so it's been crazy. And to kind of start out with, where have I been, right? Because I came back from Japan and I told you all, hey, look, holidays are coming up, but it's not going to be a big deal. I'm taking a short trip to Mexico. I'll be back and we'll be, we'll be hitting the hay. We'll be hitting the hay. That's not an idiom. We'll be putting, metal to the pedal. We're going to go hard. We're going to do a lot of Zenless content. And 3 weeks later, and that hasn't been the case. And so to kind of tell you the truth, I don't think it was in my control this time, but I went to Mexico for 5 days. Suki, good to see you, my friend. I missed you, buddy. It is good to see you. Happy New Year to you both, JD and Suki. JD, if you got to go shower, by all means, go shower, my friend. Please do not let up for me. But to kind of talk about where I have been, I promised you guys that I would be back in a week or 10 days after the holidays. And it was my every intention to come back within that time frame. We were going to do a little bit of Zenless content and have a good time. On my way back to from Mexico on the plane, because we did take a plane. We did not drive to Mexico. No, sir. I started feeling a bit meh, a bit eh. Throat was a bit itchy, wasn't the greatest. But then when I hit back, touch the grass, I'm in the USA and we spent a day here, I felt fine. And I was like, you know what? Probably just allergies. And then the new year rolled around, which is the 31st, and I woke up on the 31st and I said, I don't feel so good. It's probably just a cold. So I decided to go on to the New Year's celebration with my family. We went out to a fantastic dinner. It was delicious, delicioso. And then went back to their place, had a good time, ended up leaving a little bit early so that I could get some rest, right? Fast forward to the next day, I have COVID. And so that'll tell you where I have been. So I have been very sick for about a week and a half and slightly sick for even longer. So it has been a rough. I wish I could have streamed, but I am not kidding when I tell you guys that for a good 14 days I have been out of commission. So take the 7 days of the holidays that I originally was going to miss, add 14 days on to that because of COVID. And here we go. You kind of get what I'm putting down. Suki, happy New Year. Happy Mem Year to everyone. It is really cool to be back and talking with you guys again because I genuinely do miss this. It is something that is on my mind. I wouldn't say constantly, but very often. I was thinking a lot about while I was laying in bed, sick, whole body hurting. Like, man, I really wish I could be streaming and doing something with you guys. And it just couldn't, and that's unfortunate. Same happened to me, but that happened years back. It's just a virus. Yeah, COVID, obviously, not a lot you can do. I mean, obviously, I am vaccinated. I I have my booster shot. Probably should get another booster shot, but I am vaccinated. But obviously, that isn't going to protect you completely. There's still a chance that you could get sick from COVID, and I did, unfortunately. I never did get tested. I will say that I didn't take a COVID test, but it was either COVID or the flu, and the symptoms were exactly the same as when I had COVID previously. Because this wasn't the first time I had COVID. I got COVID about a year and a half after COVID first started, like 2022, something around there. So every December, it's mainly due to weak immunity that. But now I'm in great health. Well, I'm happy to hear that you are in great health, Suki. That is the most important thing in our lives is to make sure that we are in good health, both physically and mentally. And if you are in great health, that is a step ahead of a lot of people. So I'm happy to hear it. I am doing better. I am feeling healthier. And this week, specifically Sunday, was the first day where I felt okay. I'm ready to go back. If I wanted to stream, I could stream. Just got to make sure I've got plenty of water next to me. Um, you know, but I could do it. And so, plan was to stream yesterday. Some things came up, couldn't stream yesterday, and so we're here today, exactly 3 weeks ago from when the last stream happened, which was, of course, the Honkai Star Rail 3.8 discussion stream. So it's been a while. Thankfully, we haven't missed anything too major. Star Rail, as you guys know, took an extra delay in order to be able to launch 4.0 properly. And so nothing new has really come out. We're getting closer to that. And for Zenless specifically, we haven't done any reactions to newly released Zenless content because of spoilers, right? So haven't really missed anything too crazy. So thankfully, timing worked out pretty well. It just was unfortunate that we couldn't get a couple of fun Zenless Zone Zero streams in there. So, Suki, have you been up to Star Rail 4.0 stuff? Some of it, Suki, I have been. I will admit, I have been in the loop with some of the 4.0 stuff. Some of it I haven't, so be very careful. If I had to kind of put it generally, is obviously I've seen the leaks for the new characters and the new characters animations. Those look very cool. We will be summoning for Yao Guang. Yao Guang is the one I want. Sparksy, I think we're gonna skip. Unfortunately, I've never been the biggest fan of Sparkle. Her new SP looks very cool. Her animations are gorgeous, but not for me personally. We're gonna skip her. But Yao Guang, definitely someone I want. She seems to be an elation support, so really good for our account. So, but I haven't really kept up with anything else besides that. I've seen a couple of screenshots of Planet Arcadia, and that's about it. So be very careful with spoilers. Sugi, at least the character, yeah, Sparksy clothes literally hurt a clothing. I can't unsee it. Really? I'll have to take a look at that later. But I really like the design. I think the Sparksy design is amazing. They really did a good job with it. I know some people have said they don't like the white hair. I get that, right? You don't want your favorite character to kind of change all too much, right? But I think it works really well for Sparkle. I think it suits her character. I think it suits Lation, so I think it's gonna be cool. She'll hopefully be very really very good. But we won't be summoning for her. Siggy Small Herda and Sparksy design look similar. My first mind to mind when I see Sparksy's clothes. Really, I'll have to take a look because honestly, it's been a while since I kind of like really took a good look at Sparksy's design and especially Small Herda's design. So we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, so to kind of sum things up really quickly, I got sick. Obviously, that's not really within my control. I was bummed out for a while, but I'm doing better now. I'm healthier. I'm doing all right and just generally ready to start the new year. Like, for example, today I went for a run. I got some exercise in, felt fine, got a good night's sleep. And so it's been good. It's been good. But so what are we gonna do today? And today is gonna, like I was telling JD at the start of the stream, is gonna be a lot of just me talking, and hopefully you guys want to listen. If you guys don't want to listen, that's perfectly fine. But it's gonna be me talking about the channel, about everything that went on the past couple of years. The past year in 2025, and kind of just celebrate what we were able to do because it was a ton of fun. I never imagined I'd ever have anyone watch me for an extended period of time, and we're now nearing 300 subscribers on YouTube, which is crazy to me. And yeah, I'm internally grateful. I mean, it has been such a special experience to be able to share all of this with you all over the internet. I mean, Suki, you're in Asia, right? Singapore. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but you're in Singapore. JD is somewhere else. I'm in the US. And the fact that we're able to interact like this over the internet is, in my opinion, Sage, good to see you, my friend. Another great example, Sage. You're across the ocean as well, if I remember correctly. Hope you're doing well, man. Happy New Year's, my friend. I am glad to see you. It has been a long time. Hopefully, this will be the last big delay, last big break that we did take for a while. So, but I was telling Sage, everyone, reason it's been a while. I got sick. I got COVID. It happens, right? So, couldn't necessarily stream. I mean, I couldn't even get out of bed for a good 10 days. So, Happy New Year. Gotta get ready for 4.0. Indeed, it's coming pretty quickly. We're only a few weeks away, and that'll be a ton of fun. I mean, a whole new planet to explore, right? Whole new story to get into. It's gonna be pretty crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I mean, obviously there's the stigma, like kind of like the uncertainty around 4.0 because of all the stuff that happened between Japan and China, but they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be just fine. Sage, also the amount of trailers for it, geez, because they couldn't do it earlier. Well, yeah, I mean, they're gonna do a lot of them. So, I mean, when you think about how many they did for Amphorius, I think it's probably gonna be the same amount. But yeah, I mean, they've got quite a bit planned, quite a bit. That's the reason they took 8 weeks instead of the normal 6. They wanted to be ready. They wanted to be fully prepared. So, 4.0 is gonna be really cool. I'm excited for it. I know a lot of people aren't. I'm personally really excited for it. But like I was saying, so this stream is going to be a lot of introspection. It's going to be a lot of just me thinking about what we did the past year and just chatting with you guys. And if you guys get bored, feel free to leave at any point in time because we won't be playing any games this stream. We won't be doing any reactions. It's just going to be me. And if you're here for me, I appreciate it. Genuinely, I appreciate it if you're here for me. But if you're here for me and video game content at the same time, I understand that fully. So, Suki, you're excited for 4.0? Hell yeah. All of us here are excited for 4.0. I'm always excited for HSR since it's free. It's not hard to make opinions and experiencing it firsthand yourself. Absolutely. I mean, the fact that Star Rail, a lot of people forget, is free. You can play Star Rail and, for the most part, get through the game pretty comfortably completely for free is crazy. Like, you don't have to spend a dime, and you will have access to an incredible story and for free. It's crazy. Obviously, if you spend a little bit of cash, the experience becomes much better. Even if you spend $5 a month and you pay for the Express Pass, it is a much better experience. I always recommend that to everyone. I say, hey, look, Genshin, Zenless, Star Rail, or any other gacha, you're gonna have a great time. But if you want to have an extra great time, spend $5. Get the pass. You're gonna get a lot more summoning currency and get a couple more of your favorite characters. Suki, if you notice, HSR did change the relics in game. They've changed a lot of stuff in game, but yeah, they're constantly updating with new functions, new quality of life, and it's been really nice. I mean, think about like the start of the game and like how little quality of life things we had. I mean, we kind of have like talking about relics, we had like the sort and filter function, and that was it. That was it. So they even have a weakened boss mechanic if you fail a few times. Exactly, like if you lose against a boss, like originally, like you were just stuck, and now you're able to just kind of force your way through it so that you can properly experience the story at a proper pace. Excuse me. If you couldn't notice, I am not fully healed yet. So I'm going to take a quick drink of water so I don't cough again into your guys' ears. So, yep, still have a cough, unfortunately. Sage, I don't use it, but it's a nice addition. Oh, yeah, I have said many times before that there should be a weakening boss mechanic in gacha games in case you aren't able to clear it. Because if you aren't able to clear a boss in Star Rail or Zenless or Genshin or any other gacha game while you're playing through a story, that interrupts the pacing of the story greatly, and it can be very frustrating. Um, I've I've had multiple occasions where I've been playing through a JRPG, not necessarily a gotcha game, but where I've been playing through a JRPG, and I get to a big boss, and I'm having a great time with the story, and the boss is pretty hard, and I lose, and I'm like, okay, let's try again, and then I lose again, and at that point, I get frustrated, and I stop focusing on the story. Obviously, you want to create a challenging experience for the player, and some players prefer a challenging experience because they can ignore kind of like the interruption of the pacing. But for me personally, I like to, you know, experience the story at a decent pace. So, weakening boss mechanic is very nice. It's a big night, Ghoul. Genshin is releasing Columbina in a few hours. Yes, indeed. Why do you think I went live today? No, I'm just kidding. I did not go live today to try to catch the Genshin viewers. But yeah, Columbina, really, really hyped character for Genshin, and obviously she is right around the corner. I've heard a few complaints about how they handled her character and how like she left the Fatui, right, going into Not Cry, which I get. I think it's a kind of a change in expectation, but as I've said many times before, um, you can't in gotcha games especially, or but in everything, you can't expect the story to play out the way you have it in your head. If you have expectations on the way a story should play out, and then the story plays out differently than what you expected, you can't necessarily fault the game for that. That's on you. Now, obviously, the writing is written in a way to kind of lead you, right? You know, if the writing, that's what the writing is supposed to do. It's supposed to flow, excuse me, it's supposed to flow from event to event and kind of lead you along the way. That's, good plot flow. But you don't want to have headcanons in your head and kind of impose that on the quality of the story. They say it's a retcon, but we didn't know enough about her. You could say it's a retcon because Not Cry shouldn't have even been a thing. They just wanted to expand the storyline a bit more. And absolutely, I get that. But I would say it's not a retcon. I would just say it's the story went in a unique, different direction that a lot of us disagree with. I honestly would have preferred Columbina to remain with the Fatui and then for her to leave within the story. I think that would have been more interesting. But they made a decision, and obviously the decision, we can't change it at this point. So experience the story and appreciate what you can and criticize what you want and move on. Siggy, what are your thoughts about 4.0? Are you aware of the Nova Flare stuff? I am aware of the Nova Flare stuff. Well, that's official. They announced it, so I can talk about that without much hesitation. The Nova Flares look really cool. I mean, obviously, Sparkle getting buffed was something that was sorely needed. I mean, you had her SP coming out, right, Sparksy, and for Sparkle to be in the situation that she was in from a balancing perspective, from a game balance perspective, not great, right? You can't have one of the main characters of Elation, at least the very first version of her character, be a very mediocre Harmony support. So obviously she needed a buff. Her buff, from what we've seen, seems to be pretty damn good. And you could say the same thing about Black Swan. Black Swan is a pretty important character in the overall Star Rail narrative, and she was in a pretty mess spot. She was still okay. She had a place within the dot team, but the best version of the dot team at the moment was Hysolins, Kafka, Cyrene, and Donhong, Permansor, Tarai. And so you weren't really running Black Swan if all you cared about was the best performance of the dot team. Now Black Swan is a much more competitive option. She can perform within the dot team much better than before, and you can put Cyrene elsewhere if you would like. So it could be set up for 4.0. Who knows? I like Sparksy's mechanics, but I kind of wish they didn't release all three at once. That's how a new planet works. So I mean, hey, it's gonna be rough, but I think it'll be fine. Characters will rerun anyway. I will say though, there are really baiting out the Donhong IL buffs. I'm certain they are coming this yearly cycle. I would expect them to come. If I were obviously Hoyoverse, I would have done the Donhong Nova Flare now, like I with Black Swan and Sparkle. But there's also the chance that they put him in the shop for you to be able to pick up. And the reason I say that is because he is an Astral Express member. I think having an Astral Express member available in the shop for you to be able to purchase makes a lot of sense because he's a part of the main cast. And so, in the case that they put him in the shop, they probably won't give him a Nova Flare. I don't think they're going to give Nova Flares to the characters that you can buy. So, but yeah, 4.0 seems really exciting. The thing I'm most excited about, as I've said many times before, is obviously the Himiko SP that has been rumored. Himiko SP will probably be the character that of like this next year that we like get all excited about, the way Cyrene was for us. So, but that's a fantastic transition point to what I was going to talk about next, which is kind of starting this stream off because this is a celebration. It's been a year. Holy shit, right? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of recap. We're gonna kind of go through my introductory stream once again. And feel free to keep talking about Star Rail, guys. I'm just gonna ramble. I will chat with you guys at the same time. We're gonna have two different conversations at the same time. So please don't stop the conversation. But I have a presentation, the same exact presentation that we used before. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use the watching videos overlay that we have. Haven't really used this all too much yet, but this is what we'll be using whenever we watch videos. And I will show every single new overlay that we have as well. Sage, I'm excited for the Silverwolf SP. I hope it's her DPS version. Oh yeah, Silverwolf SP is definitely gonna be one that I think I'm gonna summon for. As long as the design is good. I think if the design isn't good, probably won't go for it, but all the SPs that, you know, are a part of characters that I like, probably gonna summon. Even well, that said, I don't have Silverwolf, like the base Silverwolf. Even when she reran with the Nova Flare. But that was mostly because I was like really summoning for a lot of characters at the time, and I was like, I don't really want to spend that much money. But anyway, my name is Gulio, and this is my 1 year anniversary stream. I've been streaming for over a year now, and a lot has changed. I have changed as a person, as a human being. The channel has changed. We've, I think, gotten better in many ways, probably worse in some ways. And I kind of just want to talk about who I am, what the channel is, what you can expect going forward. Before we get there, let's kind of readdress what I talked about a year ago. streaming has always been a small dream of mine. I wouldn't say the biggest dream, but it's been a dream of mine, something that I've thought about for years. Going back essentially to the end of my time in high school and the start of my time in college, I had always wondered to myself whether or not I would be good at it. And as time went on, as I went deeper into college, I started to think about it more because I realized that the more time I spent playing games and the more time I spent talking with my friends while playing games, it became something that I felt comfortable doing. Something that I felt that I could, with time, build up the skill and ability. Because I would be kind of playing games, and in my head, I would kind of be thinking about what if I were doing this to an audience, to you guys? Would I be able to express my passion and my joy for this game in a way that's entertaining and understandable? And with time, I kept thinking that, yeah, maybe I could. I felt that I had the potential. And after college, obviously, COVID-19 happened. And that kind of put a stop to a lot of the things I was planning for my life and what kind of lay ahead of it. And eventually, COVID kind of started to slow down. I got to the point where I got my first big boy job. I had ended up quitting that first big boy job because it gave me crippling anxiety. And then I ended up getting a better big boy job that was more in line with what I studied. And so with that, started to make some money, started to make some money that was comfortable. And I ended up moving out to my own apartment. And it was there that I first had my real space, that to myself. And I got a good computer for the first time. I felt finally that I had the flexibility and the freedom to, excuse me, to pursue the things that I wanted to pursue. One of those things was streaming. Originally, I intended to start streaming in 2022. And things happened when I moved in. Not in, like critical things, nothing dangerous. I was just very busy. And my life changed in a drastic way for the better. I kind of Caesar, my friend, finally on time. Hey, Caesar, don't worry about it one bit, brother. It is perfectly fine. Um, I get, I get the fact that it's difficult to catch one of my streams on time because I don't schedule them. They just kind of happen. I just kind of decide in my head. So, but it's been a while, man. It's like I feel like I haven't talked to you in forever. Or maybe I think you did leave a YouTube comment at one point that I responded to, or maybe not. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, for you, it's been a couple of months, I think. So good to see you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. But kind of going back to the story. So moved into my new apartment, ended up kind of missing the time frame. Like I kind of ended up missing the time where I had the motivation to start streaming. And so ended up not doing it. I was in my apartment and just never came to be. Eventually, I ended up deciding to move back in with my parents to save up a little bit of money, and also because I felt like it was time to go somewhere more permanent. The apartment that I was living in was a very nice apartment in a very good area, but it was too small. I knew that I wanted something more, and I eventually started to make a bit more money that I felt really comfortable moving to a bigger place with, and so eventually I did. I stayed with my parents for about a year. I ended up moving out again to the apartment that I'm in right now. I've been living here for over a year because I moved in only 3 weeks before I started streaming. And I've renewed my lease. I will be here for another year and a half. And this apartment gives me the space and the flexibility to stream. And so that's what I did a year ago. I started streaming for the very first time, and it was rough in certain ways. I think it was a bit better than the average streamer, but there were some things that I had to learn, some things that I had to go comfortable with. And as time went on, it got a bit easier, got more comfortable. Then more time came and passed. People started to chime in and chat. Became a bit easier, then became more stimulating, more engaging. More time went on, and Star Rail kind of reached kind of closer to 3.4. And YouTube started to do well as well. And things started to get exciting. I loved Amphorius before 3.4. Don't get me wrong, it was a ton of fun. But 3.4 was really the start of it all, in my opinion. It was the start of this becoming something truly special with Amphorius and being able to come in with every new story patch, react to all the trailers, and play through the story patch, discuss it afterwards, and just have a great time with it all with you guys was incredible. It was an experience that is indescribable in ways that it just, I know I just used a lot of superlatives there, but it was magical. And I am very grateful for it. And it really solidified in my head, in my mind, that this was something I wanted to do for a long time. And so we will be doing it for a long time. For those of you who might have been worried that, hey, 1 year anniversary, is he going to retire, for Christ's sakes? No, we're going to keep streaming. Nothing really is changing. If anything, we're just going to have a better time with it. So, fast forward, Amphorius is over. We're taking a bit of a break onto Star Rail 4.0, and it's the start of a new era, and things are looking up. It's going to be a lot of fun. So, going to the next slide. Can I go to the next slide? Here we go. Kind of to reintroduce myself to you all, because Caesar, brother, do you have Discord? I do have Discord, Caesar, but unfortunately, one of my rules with streaming, it's a good stream to kind of bring this up, is I'm not going to really be exposing myself too much online. The reason for that is because I have a very specific kind of distance that I like to keep with the internet. And that distance is something that I'm comfortable with. I'm not saying that I would not love to chat with you guys over Discord, that we wouldn't have a great time talking in voice chat. That's not it at all. But, with time, that could grow to something more, something that would push boundaries that I'm not comfortable with. So, getting ahead of it. Eventually, maybe I grow large enough to the point to where we start a Discord and I'm able to interact with you guys through a more controlled and moderated environment. That would be awesome if I could eventually get to that point. But we're far from it. We're kind of in this gray area where, yes, I am growing. The channel is growing. And there's, hope that potentially we could get that big at one point and we could kind of have a more interactive community in that way. But for now, I need to keep that distance because kind of forecasting in the future, if I don't do it now, it could be dangerous. So appreciate Caesar understanding. Same with you, Suki. Appreciate you understanding as well. But kind of talk about, and I just realized there's a typo, so really cool stuff. In fact, you know what? You guys will get to see my Canva for a bit here. Let's fix this, shall we? There we go. Kind of a sneak peek to what we have later. Present. Okay. Kind of talk about who I am. My name is David, and I've talked about that a few times on stream. I haven't really been hiding it, but my real name is David. You are free to refer to me as such. If you call me David, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that. The channel's name is Gulio. I see myself as Gulio on the internet. That's just the way I see it. If you call me Gulio, I will probably be more likely to respond. If you call me Ghoul, probably will be likely to respond. If you call me Leo, I will probably respond. Either one, you can call me whatever. I do not care at all. David, Ghoul, Gulio, Leo, whatever. But that's who I am. I am 27 years old. I was 26 when I started. I am now 27. My pronouns are he, him, and I live in an area within the United States that is Central Standard Time. So if you guys are ever wondering kind of like what time it is, for me, it is Central. Like right now, it is 7:52 p.m. in the afternoon. And of course, I am a massive weeb, a massive nerd. I love anime. I love anime-themed games, which are just JRPGs and gachas pretty much. And anything related to Japan, I'm generally a big fan of. I went to Japan, visited for the very first time only 2 months ago, and it was fantastic. But this is who I am, and this is kind of something that I feel that I like to do. Like, I know I mentioned, Caesar, that I want to keep a certain distance with the internet and my online persona, and that's still true. But in other ways, I want to make sure you guys know who I am as a human being, because that's who I am. I'm a human being. You guys are human beings as well, I think. I would hope. Maybe you guys are like some secret robot AI across the universe that is about to destroy the Earth, so that would be interesting. But most of you probably are human in some way. I'm kidding, obviously. I'm kidding. And I do feel like a lot of the internet and social media has lost that element of humanity, kind of that interperson relationship. It's difficult to build across the internet, of course, because there's a screen separating us, right? You can't see my body language, you can't see my expression perfectly. I get it, it's difficult, but I think it's possible. I think it's entirely possible to be very human on the internet. It just requires sincerity. And so that's what I'm trying to do with my channel. I'm trying to be as sincere and genuine and transparent as possible with you all, and to, at the same time, be as positive about it as possible. I don't like negativity. In fact, I value positivity and optimism over sometimes honesty. There have been times in this channel where I will prioritize having a safe and positive environment over being completely honest, mainly with replying to YouTube comments. So, but Suki reminds me of Dave from the Penguin movie. All of us are Mem. All of us are indeed Mem. Mem is a good example to follow. Bright, cheerful, positive, joyful, generally very optimistic. Very well said, Suki. But yeah, this is who I am. Feel free to refer to me as such. If you had, I will say, it seems the name that I like the most, if you guys want to call me by the name that I like the most, is Leo, kind of like the second part of my channel name. If you call me Leo, I think that's the name I'm most comfortable with. But you can call me David, you can call me Gulio, you can call me Leo, you can call me Ghoul. It's whatever. Like, Sage, I think you like to call me Ghoul. Suki, you've called me a couple of different things. Perfectly fine. Anyway, what can you expect? And honestly, this is going to be pretty quick because I think what you can expect going forward is going to be a lot of the same. We're not stopping what we've been doing. We're going to keep doing it, maybe in a different way, but it's going to be the same. The only difference that you might see from me is you might see some new things, new games, new form of content. Maybe we'll do more anime reactions. That's something that we talked about a year ago that we didn't do a lot of. And that's something I would like to do more. We did only one anime reaction on the channel, and that was to Ban, the anime that Giga made on YouTube, and it was fantastic. I had a great time with it. So maybe we'll do more anime reactions. Who knows? But it's going to be a lot of the same. It's going to be me, you guys playing games, having a good time, just generally sharing our love and passion for the things that we enjoy. And so if you guys want to be a part of that, by all means, come in. If that doesn't sound cool to you, by all means, go somewhere else. I do not mind whatsoever. Caesar, Leo reminds me of Mighty, and that's awesome. Hey, bro, Mighty is an attractive man. If I remind you of him, god damn, bro, I'll take that shit. Have you seen his abs? Hot take, I think Mighty's abs are better than Finan's. I know that's a hot take. I think his abs are better than maybe it's like the tattoos. I know you're talking about personality wise, Caesar. I'm just joking. Suki, I just realized Varspura is Singapore based. Varsapura. Remind me what that is again, Suki. I feel like that's something I should understand. It sounds familiar to me. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be the same shit. Let's kind of get into it, right? This is the reason most of you watch me. It's the thing I enjoy doing the most on stream as well. Star Rail. Honkai Star Rail. It is the focus of my channel. It is what has performed the best on my channel, if we're going to go metrics wise. JD, good to see you, my friend. Welcome back. We're kind of in the middle of it. We're kind of doing the whole 1 year anniversary presentation, celebration stream, whatever you want to call it. Sage, was the latest Hoyoverse game reveal another big project like ZZZ? Well, there's Anima Nexus. But I think there's another one they've got in their back pocket, right? There's like two, aside from Anima Nexus, there's like another big one that's been rumored that they've been working on. I don't think we're gonna do Anima Nexus, in all honesty. Doesn't seem like my type of game. but we'll see. Who knows? We could do something outside of Hoyoverse. I've had a couple ideas in my head. In fact, you might see one later in this very stream. Suki, Varsapura map is similar to Singapore. Well, I get the comparison, Suki. I'm just, what is Varsapura? Like, I just, that's where I'm lost. Like, is that a name I'm supposed to know? Is that related to Hoyoverse? Caesar, my PFP is fine and I would make it about Mighty. Obviously, everything is a Mighty reference. Indeed. Everything should be a Mighty reference. More Mighty references are always good. Sage, there's another game Hoyo is making, which is pushing an Eastern open world game. Really? That's really cool. I'm down for that. That might be something we do. That looks really cool. But yeah, I mean, to kind of talk about it, you guys mostly are here because of what's on your screen, Star Rail, and we'll be doing Star Rail exactly the same way we've been doing it this past year. We're gonna react to trailers, we're gonna stream summons, we're gonna play through the story quests, we're gonna talk about it afterwards, and we're gonna do it the exact same way in 2026. Nothing is changing about Star Rail. We'll be just playing through 4.x, having a good time with Plan Arcadia, or Plan. How do you guys say Plan Arcadia? Is it, do you guys say Plan Arcadia, or do you guys say Plan Arcadia? Like, do you separate the AR at the beginning? Genuine question. This is not rhetorical. Like, I'm wondering, because like I don't think I've chosen yet. There's a difference. There is a difference. Trust me. You say it all together like Plan Arcadia instead of separating Plan Arcadia. Let me say that really. Plan Arcadia. Plan Arcadia. I kind of like the first one more. Plot Arcadia. Okay. I kind of like Plan Arcadia, like putting more emphasis on the plan, kind of like that having be its own syllable. Sidetrack. Plan Arcadia is gonna be really cool. Caesar Flickerman, exactly the way you do. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, so Star Rail, nothing's changing. We're gonna be doing it the exact same way. But let's kind of talk about 2025 Star Rail. I mean, what an experience, right? Amphorius was incredible in ways that I don't think any of us expected. Like when we first watched the Amphorius trailer with Aglaya narrating, right? When all of the Chrysos heirs were introduced to us for the first time, some of which were kept hidden. None of us expected it to go the way that it did, right? We were thinking maybe a Greek epic or some kind, and it was a Greek epic in a certain extent, but kind of tying in the lore with the Emperor Scepter and Xander slash Lygus, the Lord Ravagers and the power of destruction, the power of the remembrance. I mean, all of it was just so much fun and really, really exciting from start to finish. I mean, the plot twists hit, the epic moments were awesome, and just overall, I felt that the plot and character writing was well done across the board. Obviously, there were moments that lagged behind a little bit. Perfectly fine. Stories aren't supposed to be perfectly written. If everything was perfectly written and perfectly executed, everything would be boring. So appreciate the flaws, right? But yeah, I mean, just going down a list with, Aglaya and well, let's go in order, right? With the Herda, Aglaya, then we had Mighty and Tribby. Then after that, we had Anaxa and Casterus. Then we had Finan by himself with the Fate collab. Then we had Hyslins and Saradra. Then we had our Astral Express members, March, specifically Evernight, who seems to be a different personality, Dunhung getting a new form. And then finally, what I believe, and I think many of you guys would agree, the kind of main star of this entire channel, kind of the thing that has defined my channel for a long time, has been the character on your screen, Cyrene. Cyrene has been a character that was always going to be super close to my heart. Whether I streamed Star Rail and Forest or not, I was always going to love her because as I've talked about many times before, I was a big fan of Alicia in Honkai Impact the Third. Um, so when we got a version of Alicia in Star Rail within the very first trailer, like the one that Aglaya was narrating, the Golden Epic trailer, I think it was called, I was excited for her because we were going to get an English voice acted version of Alicia. And then she ended up being so much more. Um, Part of it was obviously the way she was written, the fact that she had an English voice, the fact that she was such a pivotal character for Amphorius, which always was always going to be the case, right? But getting to kind of be a fan with her, be a fan of her, right? Have her be my favorite character in Amphorius, my second favorite character in the entire game, behind Firefly. But it's actually a bit closer than you guys might think. I think I've kind of like communicated like in the past that like, oh, it's Firefly at the top and there's like a giant chasm and then Cyrene. No, Firefly and Cyrene are close in my overall like favoritism. Firefly just slightly more. But Cyrene, I think even more so than Firefly, means something special to me because like I said, this character defined my channel. And this character was something you guys always were able to attribute to me. You guys knew me as a Cyrene super fan. He was the Cyrene guy. And obviously I'm not the biggest Cyrene fan in the world. I wish I could be. I'm not. There are other people out there that obsess over characters much more strongly than I do. But the fact that she became so ingrained with my online persona and Gulio has made her that much more special. This character feels like my character, like the character that this channel was about for an entire year and will continue to be about for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I mean, it was really cool. And I've actually, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Let me catch up the chat and then here's what we're going to do. Rennie Shoma, good to see you. You got to give props to the best villain slash DJ ever, my man Xander. I mean, Xander is the best villain slash antagonist in Star Rail, bar none. Which is an impressive feat because Sunday exists. I think Sunday is a fantastic antagonist. But yeah, Xander slash Lygus, incredible antagonist. Just wow. He was, in my opinion, he was the highlight of an entire story patch. Like I know Hyslins and Saradra were really cool. I especially fell in love with Hyslins. Hyslins is awesome. But Lygus slash Xander was a star of 3.5 to me personally. So props to him. JD, I love Greek mythology, so it was a blast for me. I mean, so do I. I'm a big fan of Greek mythology. I would like to catch up with my Greek mythology. I haven't read about it in a while. And I haven't finished the Odyssey yet. I started reading the original Odyssey, like the original idiom, but wasn't able to finish it. I would like to do that though. Sage, Amphorius was the best storyline for any gacha I played that year. Well, I didn't play a lot of gachas last year, so I would agree, Sage. Amphorius, and even if I played more gachas, I think Amphorius would still be at the very top. JD, Cyrene was so well designed. I love her dress. I think Cyrene was well designed both ways. I think her NPC form was fantastic as well. In fact, her NPC form was so loved by so many people. A lot of people had a problem with this form of Cyrene. They would have preferred for the NPC form to stay the same way. But I love both. I love both. I love them both equally. Suki, usually white hair represent divine, long age type of character. If Sparksy is old, then I wouldn't be surprised by old, like around for a long time. Well, she's rumored to be an Emanator. So, yeah, she is going to be quite important in the future. That likely means she's really old as well. Like, think about how old Akron is, right? Akron is very old. Sparksy probably going to be or Sparkle, whatever her true name is going to be, probably going to be the same way. But here's what we're going to do to kind of talk about it a bit before we go. I wanted to express, because Cyrene is gone, right, in Star Rail. We're not going to see her for a while. And she defined this channel for so long. And I wanted to kind of show or express in a way her impact an influence on Gulio, right? All of this. And when I was kind of like revamping like the channel, right? Like we've got new microphone, new webcam, new overlays, right? Things have changed. Um when I was kind of revamping the channel after I came back from Japan, I wanted to kind of have some homage to Cyrene, something to dedicate to her so that we can remember her for a while. And as I was doing the ending overlay for the channel, I realized that the new ending overlay removed the Sakura petals from what we had previously. The old ending overlay that we had Sakura, like cherry blossom petals flying down. And over time, right, that kind of became a symbol for Cyrene. So I was a bit sad by that. Like I had to remove that from my channel. And then I got an idea. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take a brief break. I'm gonna get some water, hit the bathroom, won't be too long. And I'm gonna kind of show you what we have here to kind of dedicate to Cyrene, um, for the like the dedication that I've made to Cyrene for the foreseeable future. I'll be right back, guys. See you in a bit. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that for a bit. So yeah, basically the Be Right Back or kind of like AFK overlay is Cyrene themed. It's got the Sakura pedals. It's got the trailer music from her character trailer. It's just obviously a different version of it because I don't want to. Didn't feel like I wanted to copy the exact version of the music from the trailer. But basically, it's gonna be kind of our dedication to her. And there's a couple of other things that. Well, there's really one main thing. In Japan, I was able to actually, if you guys remember, I went to Japan around the same time Cyrene released in Star Rail around 3.7 drop. We did 3.7, had a great time with it, and then almost immediately, like the next week, I went to Japan. And let me go ahead and go back to the presentation, make sure that everything is right on the screen. Here we go. So on top of the kind of Be Right Back overlay, the Be Right Back screen being Cyrene themed, I'm hoping to hang this up on. Oh, and I just went to this fucking overlay, and I probably should have gone to. Probably should have just stayed here. I got this in Japan, limited item. I like position there. So Akihabara was doing a special promotion on Cyrene. And when we went, if you had spent 3,000 yen in any specific store that was doing the promotion, you would get that special limited edition Cyrene kind of shopping bag. And so what my intention is to frame the bag as it is originally. I'm not going to cut it or any way. I'm going to frame it, and I'm going to put it right here, hopefully, eventually. Because we have the Firefly sword hanging, right? Firefly sword has been there from the beginning. But we have nothing for Cyrene aside from the Be Right Back overlay, which, that might be enough. Who knows? But having that in the background would I think be such a nice touch. So, but yeah, long story short, Cyrene was a joy to experience. Amphorius was a joy to experience, and generally, really, really had a great time with it. And hopefully, we'll have a great time with Planet Arcadia. Rennie Shom on YouTube, and about Rini's flower language, one must realize that she's an AI. She's just a really, really realistic AI. Well, she started as an AI, and then eventually she became something more human. Honestly, I would argue that she is very human, and not human in some way. She's got a very divine aspect to Cyrene. It's what makes her such an interesting character. But that goes down to the question of what is humanity, right? Like if you and I had our brains removed from our head and put onto an android body, completely cybernetic, would we be still a human? I'm of the opinion, this has been a belief of mine for a while, that yes, I would, as long as my memories and my general personality and demeanor were to remain intact. Because I believe humanity is defined by the soul, and I don't say that like religiously, or like actually like I believe like there's like a ghost in my chest called the soul that's fucking floating around. I'm not that spiritual. But I do think every human has quote unquote a soul, something that core in that kind of serves as their core, that defines them as a person. And I can't describe it. I don't know if it's real. I don't even give a shit if it's real or not. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Whether a soul exists or not, I don't give a shit. I personally just feel it. It's just something that instinctually is there. And if that instinctual feeling is there in my android body / cybernetic body, or if I were to transform into an alien, like my biology would change, I would still see myself as human because ultimately my core self is still the same. So to me, Cyrene herself, despite being a fictional character, has something similar to a soul, and her soul to me is what makes her a human. I think Cyrene to me is a very human character. JD, Akron has that nihility anti-age method. Akron does have that nihility anti-age method. Akron is like hundreds, thousands of years old, and her skin still looks like that. Like, Akron, please teach me your skincare routine. I need it, my friend. She also did like a makeup like commercial. Oh wait, no, that was Robin, right? Robin was the one who did the makeup commercial trailer. Anywho, sidetracked. Suki, the question why Sparksy's clothes match Pepper Herda outfit. Indeed. Gulia will surprise us with a real sakura tree. That's funny you mentioned that, JD, because I actually do have a sakura tree in my apartment. It's not real. For Christmas this year, my mom ended up buying me a gift, and it's kind of like a Christmas tree, but it's fake, it's lit up, but it's sakura. It's not like a traditional Christmas tree. It's a sakura tree. So yeah, I kind of do have one in a way, but I'm not gonna bring it over here. It's in my living room. I don't want to drag it all the way over here. So that's so cool. I assume we were talking about the bag. Yes, the bag is very cool. I just got super lucky that coincidentally I ended up going to Japan at the same time of Cyrene's release. And guys, it was so fucking cool. I mean, all over Akihabara, they had like Cyrene advertisements, like billboards, posters. Hell, there were even like multiple, like large screens that were playing her trailer. And like just being in that environment knowing, Cyrene is one of my favorite characters of all time. Cyrene is my fourth favorite character of all time, in fact. Not just Star Rail, not just video games, all time. She is my fourth favorite character, period. So being able to be a part of that was pretty incredible. JD, according to Cyrene, humanity is flawed divinity. Well said, JD. Well said. And with that, we will move on. But Star Rail is staying the same, guys. Everything that you know and love about this channel and Star Rail, I'm hoping to carry that spirit forward into this next year. The other thing that was the main aspect and kind of like the pillar of the channel alongside Star Rail was, of course, Zenless Zone Zero. And this was a bit, not as expansive as Star Rail was, but this was such a unique and different experience for me because unlike Star Rail, where I was fully caught up, where I was a veteran, I was someone who really understood the game and had a good grasp of the lore and the characters, right? Star Rail was something I could start and pick up on stream very quickly. This was the complete opposite. I started streaming Zenless Zone Zero knowing practically nothing aside from the fact that characters in this game are absurdly hot, and I wanted to play it for that reason. But I mean, Zenless has been an equal joy to experience alongside Star Rail. I mean, being able to kind of pick up the game, learn it alongside with you all, kind of slowly but surely get better at the game, getting introduced to the lore, the main cast, the characters, understanding more about what is going on within New Eridu, kind of like really immersing myself in the world was super cool because with Star Rail, you guys didn't get to see that process, right? You guys just already knew that I was a fan, that I was a super fan, that I was going to be someone that you could share this fantastic game with. With Zenless, you got to watch that happen. You got to see me fall in love with the game, and we were able to kind of do so many different aspects of Zenless. We were able to do gameplay stuff, side quests, the story, just really, really cool summons, right? There was like that long period of time where I lost like 9 straight 50-50s, and that became such a fun inside joke. But we finished season 1, and that's kind of where we left the game at. And unlike Star Rail, Zenless is going to change, hopefully for the better. So what we're going to do with Zenless Zone Zero is I feel like I've given the channel and the people who watch Zenless Zone Zero on my channel, I feel like I've given you all a decent portfolio of how I play the game, right? I've done gameplay, I've done Shiyu defense runs, Deadly Assault runs, we did story, we did side quests. Yeah, And I feel like there's not much else for me to offer aside from the story. So what we're gonna do going forward is we're gonna do the Star Rail thing with Zenless Zone Zero. It's just gonna be the story reactions. We're gonna do the agent side stories as well. So we'll do the story reactions. We're gonna do the agent side stories on stream as well, and that's mostly gonna be it. But that does mean we're gonna be removing most of the gameplay stuff from Zenless Zone Zero. So not gonna do side quests on stream anymore. Not gonna do events on stream anymore. Not gonna do like some of the more casual things that we did, like just building our discs and getting our builds together for characters on stream. That's not gonna happen anymore, unfortunately. And that's just something that I can't manage with the time that I have. But in return, what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start doing some of the stuff that we do in Star Rail that we've never done in Zenless before. We're gonna start doing trailer reactions, and that does mean we're gonna react to all the trailers that are out currently. And I'm not caught up with the story yet. I haven't done season 2. Season 2 recently ended. But I am going to watch every single trailer. All of them. Every single one that's been released. It's going to be a big, long stream. And some things might get spoiled. That's fine. I've prepared myself for that. That's just the way things are going to be. But yeah, we're going to add that into kind of like the portfolio. And then obviously, now that we're slowly but surely getting caught up, we're going to start doing story discussions after the fact. We haven't done story discussions for Zenless. We're going to start doing them. So we're basically going to take what we do for Star Rail. We're going to copy it. We're going to do it for Zenless Zone Zero going forward. So the way we approach it is going to be slightly different, but I think the spirit of the game is going to stay. And generally, I think it's going to be a better way to kind of showcase my journey through Zenless Zone Zero. So, but yeah, the game has been such a joy to play through. I love the character design of this game. The art style of this game is fantastic. And just so many things about just the general tone of ZZZ is just so unique and so unlike anything that I've played before. And I'm excited to go through it again. I know that it's been on the back burner, and now would be a good time to say it's going to continue to be on the back burner for a little while longer. I would say for about a month or month and a half. I'll talk about why later. But yeah, when we do get back to Zenless Zone Zero, it's gonna be great. I've been wanting to. I genuinely want to get back to this game. It pains me the fact that I have to put it on the back burner, but it is what it is. So, but yeah, super fun, and obviously the way I don't have her on the screen, but kind of the way Cyrene defined Star Rail for us. For me personally, what defined Zenless Zone Zero was Miss Evelyn Chevalier. I do have an acrylic stand of her now on my desk. So, Evelyn being my favorite character from Zenless for many reasons. Some of those reasons not as pure as others. So, excuse me. But Zenless Zone Zero will continue being a mainstay of the channel. So, any of you guys who were watching me for Zenless, we're gonna keep doing it. Just be patient. We'll come back to it eventually. Suki, Season 2 is refreshing and probably miss things. I've heard many different things about Season 2. I've heard a lot of criticism towards Season 2. I've heard many things about the characters, and thankfully haven't really gotten spoiled on too many things. I imagine, like I said, the trailers are going to spoil me on quite a bit. But I'm excited for Season 2. I think Season 2, despite all the flaws, despite all the things that I'm hearing about the season, I think is going to be fun. I think it's going to be new, which I'm always down for new. And I think it's going to do some important things for the story, specifically set up kind of events for the future that I think need to happen. So hopefully we get some of that. And obviously, I mean, the new peninsula is going to be really cool. So, but that we've kind of talked about what has been. We've talked about Zenless. We've talked about Star Rail. That's been my channel for a decent period of time. It's been these two things. There's been a couple of other things that we've done, obviously, but it's mainly been Zenless Zone Zero and Honkai Star Rail. Well, once we're close to catching up with Zenless Zone Zero. Once we do catch up to Zenless Zone Zero and we start treating it the way we do with Star Rail, we're gonna be waiting for content, right? Because content isn't readily available. Things will come out and we will play through them and react to them, but it's not always gonna be there. So what are we gonna do when once we get caught up to Zenless? Well, it's about time we come to the main reason I started streaming, the main motivation I have to stream and to keep streaming for the foreseeable future. I talked about a year ago when I first started streaming how I wanted to structure my channel in phases where for years at a time we would be focusing on specific things. Not entirely, like we'll still do various different things. This is not a channel that focuses on one specific game, but that I do feel like we almost did kind of mirror that with this first year. Like phase 0, if you could call it that, was Star Rail, was Amphorius, and Zenless Zone Zero on the side, right? But like I said, we're moving on to a different era of Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero. We're going to catch up to it eventually. And that means we're going to have to kind of have something that we focus on elsewhere. And this was the main thing that I always wanted to do when I started streaming. And it's going to start soon. It's going to start this year, most likely. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope that all of you who watch me for Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero come over. But I've talked about it a little bit. My favorite series of all time, my favorite games of all time, are the Legend of Heroes Trails series, otherwise known as Kiseki in Japan. These are a series of JRPGs that all connect from a narrative perspective. There are over 13 games in the series. Yep, all 13 games connect. From the very first game that they ever released for Trails to the most recent game that they will be releasing in T-minus 2 days. In English, at least. It's already out in Japan. Every single game connects from a story perspective. And it is my favorite series of all time. And my intent is to start streaming this series from the very first game on this channel that I have yet to play. I have not played the first game of this series. And go all the way to the most recently released game, whatever that might be when it releases. So we're going to be streaming the entire Trail series on this channel. And I talked about this a year ago when I first did my introductory stream. We didn't get to it last year. We will be getting to this year. And this will be the focus of my channel for a long time alongside Star Rail. This series, The Legend of Heroes Trails, and Star Rail will be what my channel focuses on for a long time, for years, probably multiple years. So just a heads up that this will come. I'm excited for it. Probably the thing I've been most excited ever for about my stream. And I'm hoping, Suki, that you and Caesar, you as well, Rennie Shom on YouTube, JD, and Sage, and everyone else who watches me, I hope that you guys will give this a chance because I genuinely think you guys would love this quite a lot. So hopefully that will come this year sooner rather than later. However, on top of this, I don't think this is something I want to jump into as soon as we catch up to Zenless. It's something that I need to prepare for. So we're going to have kind of like a in-between game after we catch up to Zenless and before we start this big journey with the Trails series. And I think it's going to be pretty fun. This game won a shit ton of awards at the Game Awards. Excuse me. Let me get a drink of water. I've been talking for almost an hour and a half. Goddamn. Anyway, yeah, we're going to be doing Expedition 33 on the channel. As soon as we catch up with Zenless Zone Zero, we're going to go to this. It's not that long of a game. It's, from what I hear, anywhere from 60 to 80 hours, depending on how much content you decide to do. And I was always on the fence whether or not I wanted to do this on stream or just enjoy it by myself in the comforts of my living room. But we're going to do it on stream. It's going to be fun. I'm excited for it. Obviously, it's very highly praised, very highly acclaimed. So this will be coming as soon as we catch up to Zenless Zone Zero. Don't know much about it. Haven't been spoiled on anything. All I know is that many of my friends, my brother have played this game, and they've loved it to death. So I'm excited to play this and see what all the hype is about. So it should be a lot of fun. And with that, we've come to the end of kind of my presentation, which I'm hoping that some of you guys are able to appreciate this. If your name is on the screen here, I am very grateful to you. Suki, of course, you're on here. You've been one of my most dedicated viewers pretty much for the majority of this channel's lifetime. So you are right here. And anyone else that Caesar, you were here earlier. Not sure if you're still here, Caesar. Didn't forget about you. It's been a while since you and I have talked, but you're still here. But if your name is on this screen, it means that at some point you made all of this worth it, that you touched my heart in a way that was, in my opinion, special. We were able to interact in some way through chat or through a YouTube comment and share our experiences with video games and anime and just have a good time with that. And that, like I said at the beginning of the stream, is something I never thought was going to be possible for me. Like, I thought that I maybe one day would end up streaming, but I thought I would like stream to like maybe one viewer every now and then. I didn't think I would ever get anywhere close to 10,000 views on one of my streams on YouTube. And so we've grown a lot as a channel, and people have watched me, and you've come in and you've talked with me, and that's what this is all about. I've said this before. I couldn't give a rat's ass about my metrics. Don't give a fuck about my views. I don't care about how many followers I have, how many subscribers I have. It's whatever. I do not do this for any other reason but to have a good time. And the metrics that I do care about are how many people have come into chat, how many people feel comfortable about chatting with me, how many people feel comfortable about leaving a YouTube comment. That's what is important to me, because that means that we can interact, we can discuss, we can have a conversation, and we can talk about the things that we love and are passionate about. And that's what this list is. So if your name is on this screen here, that means that you have done so at some point in some way. You and I have interacted over the internet, across the ocean, across land, and we've had a connection in some way, shape, or form. If your name is not on screen here, I am sorry. Please do not take that to heart. I might have forgotten, or it's been a while and just your name it was too old, or maybe like you watched me a lot and you just lurk. You haven't posted a chat or a comment, which is perfectly fine. If you want to lurk on my channel, by all means. All I want is to ensure that you are able to come in, watch my stream, and have a good time with it, relax. And if you want to share your passions alongside with me in chat or by YouTube comment, feel free to do so, but you do not have to. That is not something I want to put pressure on you for. But yeah, I am grateful to you all. I have my brother, my mom, and my dad at the same level because I do not have favorites. And then some of my in real life friends. Many of you guys know Goldston. He is an in real life friend of mine. He could not make it today, which is perfectly fine. But then we've got a lot of my more dedicated viewers that have come in over time, people that have not met in real life, but to me, you are all still friends of mine. Please know that I value each and one of you for being here and being a friend of mine, giving me the chance to be able to talk with you about these wonderful games and these wonderful anime and just anything. I mean, we could talk about anything. Like we could talk about fucking Singapore, Suki, with you, and like what that might be for like with you, the difference in time zone, the difference in cultures, the difference in ideas and beliefs and philosophy. We could talk about games. We could talk about music. We could talk about anything. And the fact that I'm able to do that over the internet is crazy to me. That is so special. And it's something that I don't ever want to forget, no matter how long I do this for. So if your name is on here, I appreciate you, and I hope that you come back and continue to give me your company, because I genuinely love it. And with that, that is the end of my presentation. A very sappy presentation, to be sure. But I mean, hey, what else are 1 year anniversaries supposed to be for, right? So, but yeah, I have had a fantastic time this past year. It has been such a privilege to be able to sit here today and stream to you all. And I hope that this next year is just as amazing. Star Rail 4.x is around the corner. Brand new planet, brand new characters. Should be super, super cool. Zenless Zone Zero Season 2. We're going to get to it eventually. Once we do, that's going to be super fun. And obviously, once we catch up to it, we're going to have Season 3 on the horizon as well. So that should be super cool. And then, of course, Phase 1 is going to start really soon. And I could introduce the Legend of Heroes Trails series to all of you who have watched me for other things, and maybe even bring in a new couple of people here that are Trails fans, and we can show them Star Rail and Zenless Zone Zero as well. And then who knows? Maybe we'll do a little bit of Pokemon here and there. Maybe we'll do a little bit of anime reactions here or there. I just want to have a good time with this, and I have had a great time up until now. So the last thing I want to talk about is something that maybe some of you guys have had on your mind. When or if or when or am I going to become a Twitch affiliate? I've talked about this a bit before. The fact that I have qualified for the Twitch affiliate program. If I wanted to become a Twitch affiliate right now, I could. And it was my intention to become a Twitch affiliate before this stream started. Because I wanted to kind of bring the channel to become more interpersonal, to grow in its natural way, right? And so I was intending for this stream to be the very first stream where people could subscribe if they wanted to, or people could offer bits if they wanted to. Not because I want money. I don't need money. Let me make that very clear. I have money. I'm good. Not a lot of money, but a healthy amount of money. Don't worry about me. But because obviously becoming Twitch affiliate is growth. Growth is something I do not want to deny. So, but we are not a Twitch affiliate here today. And the reason for that is as I was doing my research and going through the process to become a Twitch affiliate, I learned a couple of things that were concerning to me. Not concerning in a negative way, like, oh, this is like against my values and beliefs, but concerning in the what I prioritize for the channel. Becoming a Twitch affiliate would mean that I would have to stop double streaming, and that means I could not stream to YouTube anymore. And that is a concern because I have some people that watch me on YouTube, and I don't want to deny them of that fact. Now, I could obviously take my Twitch streams, download the VODs, upload them to YouTube, and interact with you all on YouTube there through the comment section. But there's still the fact that the YouTube chat would be gone, and that's something that I do value. Another thing is, if I were to become a Twitch affiliate, I'd have to sign tax forms, and tax forms affect my finances in a way that I need to be more organizationally prepared to handle that. This could become a business, and that's something I'm not prepared to handle yet. So there's different aspects and elements that I have to consider before I become a Twitch affiliate. Things that I thought I wouldn't have to. And so I'm not saying that we're not going to become a Twitch affiliate. What I'm saying is I need a little bit more time. I need a little bit more time to think about it some more, to kind of run through my mind what it means for me in my life, right? And how that might affect me. And later down the line, once I'm more comfortable with that, once I'm more prepared, we're probably going to do it. But for now, status quo is going to stay the same. We're not a Twitch affiliate. We're not a Twitch partner. We are just a regular streamer streaming to Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So it's the last thing I wanted to talk about because I did feel like it was important because it directly affects the channel. So, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and stop here for today at an hour and a half. That's about what I expected to go to today. Thank you all who came in. Suki, always a pleasure to have you, my friend. Always a pleasure. I am very grateful to you. You are a dear friend of mine. I hope that you continue to come back and give me your company because it is fantastic company. And Star Rail is around the corner, my friend. Star Rail is around the corner. Should be a lot of fun once we get to it. JD and Sage, I think I've left at this point, but if they're watching back the VOD, JD, Sage, thank you so much for coming in, being able to celebrate this moment with me, to be a part of it. And on YouTube, of course, Rennie Shom and Caesar, you both as well. Thank you for coming in, being a part of this with me as well. I value your company immensely, and I'm very grateful that you would give me your time. So we're going to go ahead and stop here today. When will you see me next? Tomorrow. We'll be streaming tomorrow. We're going to be doing one last stream before I end up taking a bit of a break because the new Trails game comes out on Thursday, and that's something that I will be having a lot of fun with for a decent amount of time. So, but we're going to be streaming tomorrow, and what we're going to be doing is, now that Amphorius is over, we're going to re-rank my character list. So we're going to go on the character sorter website. We're going to do it again, and we're going to have a good time with it. And some things are going to change. Some of my favorite characters will go up. Some of my old favorite characters will unfortunately have to go down because of that. So we'll see how things have changed. But yeah, tomorrow we'll be back. There will be Star Rail content. It won't be me rambling about my emotions and feelings. You'll have something fucking entertaining to listen to. But yeah, tomorrow will be the character sorter stream for season 2, and then once after I would say like a 5 or 6 day break, we're gonna do the Honkai Star Rail trailer reaction / ranking stream as well. So that'll be coming soon. So a little bit of things that we can do before 4.x comes. So that should be a great time. Suki, X-Face, indeed, my friend. Cool stuff ahead. Happy New Year's. Happy 1 year anniversary to the Gulio channel. It has been a privilege. It has been a joy. It will continue to be a privilege and a joy. And I hope that all of you continue to stick around and share our love and passion for video games and anime and life in general. So, as I've said many times before, my name is Gulio, Leo, David, Ghoul, whatever you want to call me. Hope you guys have a great afternoon, evening, morning. Thank you for coming in. Peace, guys. Take care.